Farewell to the God of War. Episode 1. The dusk was coming. The Northern Territory was extremely cold. A grass-green jeep ran along the white snow road, blowing up the snow. The youth in the back seat rubbed his red eyes secretly. Behind the jeep was a crowd. The uniform green battle suits were boundless at a glance. At the moment, the Sodders raised their hands to their temples, staring at the fading jeep with their moist eyes. Farewell to the God of War. Farewell to the God of War. Suddenly, everyone yelled in unison. It sounded like a wave, shaking the world. The driver, named Mac Tuesday, glanced at the youth in the rearview mirror with his red eyes, and said, "Guardian, are you really leaving?" The youth is Asher Young. After only 5 years in the army, he has made great contributions. At the age of 27, he has become the youngest Guardian in history, guarding the Northern Territory. After becoming the Guardian, he has made countless contributions to the war and won the title of Invincible God of War. Today's Northern Territory has become an invincible city. Who dares to fight? Yang Chen said and took out a photo, which turned out to be a wedding certificate photo. The picture showed him and a woman with exquisite facial features. The woman looked in her early 20s. Her long hair was simply tied behind her head. Her eyes were light, her nose was high and her mouth was plump. At a glance, she was even more beautiful than those so-called stars. However, in the picture, she looked unhappy. "Sassy Queen, how are you?" Asher Young stared at the woman in the picture and murmured. Looking at their only photo, he showed a trace of happy smile. His thoughts have already flown back to the past. 5 years ago, Sassy Queen, who was just a senior university student, founded Sunny Group and became the well-known beauty president in Jiangnan. At the most critical time of Sunny Group's development, she was framed and drugged by her opponent. Then she had a relationship with one of the Sunny Group's security. The lucky security guard was just Asher Young. The first beauty of Jiangnan had a wonderful night with a security guard. Before Asher Young and Sassy Queen went out of the hotel, this news had already occupied Jiangnan's top headline news, which was reprinted by countless media. For a while, from the top wealthy to the common people, all knew that the first beauty in Jiangnan had slept with the company's security guard. Overnight, the market value of Sunny Group halved. In order to minimize the impact, the Queen family found Asher Queen and let him marry into the family. The news of their marriage spread rapidly. For a time, it shook the whole Jiangnan, and the Queen family also became a joke. But soon after their marriage, Yang Chen left quietly. He just hoped that one day he could be worthy of Sassy Queen. In the past 5 years, the beautiful figure has been in his mind all the time, which was the driving force for him to step up to the peak of glory. Step by step. Nevertheless, whenever he thought of her, Asher Young was full of guilt. 3 days later, a Boeing 777 aircraft landed slowly at Jiangnan International Airport. "Finally, I came back." Asher Young stepped down the ladder. Stepping onto the land of Jiangnan, he showed a long-lost smile. "Mom, where are you?" Just as Asher Young walked out of the airport, he heard a crisp crying of a little girl. He did not know why his heart suddenly inexplicably hurt. "Guardian." Mac Tuesday was about to speak, but was interrupted by Asher Young. "From the moment I left the Northern Territory, I am no longer the Guardian. This name won't appear again." Looking at Asher Young's serious face, Mac Tuesday couldn't help but tremble. He tentatively called out, "Mr. Young?" Seeing Asher Young did not respond, he just said with a smile, "Mr. Young, that little girl looks like you. Shouldn't you be relatives?" Asher Young subconsciously looked at the little girl. But once he looked at her, his eyes could not move away. A strong sense of familiarity came to his mind. Especially when the little girl was crying, his heart seemed to ache. There seemed to be the telepathy. The little girl suddenly stopped crying and looked at Asher Young with her tearful eyes. They looked at each other. At this moment, Asher Young could see the little girl's face clearly. The inexplicable sense of intimacy was even more. Her little face was so perfect. Her skin was delicate and smooth. Her big eyes were bright and the eyelashes were very long. The little girl looked about 4 years old. Although she was still young, she was already a beauty. When she grows up, she must be a startling beauty. "Dad!" The little girl let out a cry. Before Asher Young could react, the little girl had already run over to embrace his leg full of joy. Boom! At this moment, Asher Young felt a burst of buzz in his mind. Mac Tuesday was also shocked, and said, "This should not be really your daughter?" After a long time, Asher Young came back to his consciousness. He squatted down and looked at the little girl who was staring at him with her bright eyes. He said as softly as possible, "Little girl, you identified the wrong person. I am not your father." However, just after Asher Young finished saying, the little girl burst into tears once again. She said as she was crying, "Dad, you abandoned me. My dad abandoned me." Passers-by all looked at Asher Young and accused him. Seeing the little girl crying again, Asher Young felt heartache and helpless. He was the guardian of the Northern Territory and everyone was scared of him. But now, in front of such a little girl, he did not know what to do. If it spread out, it would startle many people. "Little girl, I'm really not your father. Dad abandoned me." Every time Asher Young said that, the little girl would cry more. 5 minutes later, Asher Young finally compromised. He picked up the little girl gently. The little girl's teary eyes were fixed on Asher Young all the time. She clung to Asher Young's clothes for fear of him leaving her behind. "Mr. Young, since this little girl likes you so much, you might as well be her father," Mac Tuesday said with a smile. Seeing Asher Young's sharp gaze, he immediately shut up. Asher Young held the little girl to the airport security helplessly. The little girl cried again, but Asher Young had no choice but to leave with Mac Tuesday. After 2 people left, a long-haired woman who was wearing black close-fitting professional dress rushed to the airport security. Chi. When she saw the crying little girl, she burst into tears and rushed to the little girl, holding the little girl tightly in her arms. For her, the little girl was her life. 5 years ago, shortly after she got married, she found herself pregnant. But the man suddenly disappeared. Her mother told her that the man had asked his father for $500,000 and left. At that time, she almost wanted to die. But when she thought of the kid in her belly, she abandoned that idea. Over the past 5 years, she has been humiliated. Even the company she founded was taken away by her family when she was pregnant. All this was because of that person. She hated that man, who left without saying goodbye and disappeared for 5 years. "Mom, I just saw Dad," the little girl said with her big eyes flashing. Then she pouted and wanted to cry again, but, "Dad doesn't want me." Hearing the little girl's words, the long-haired woman's body suddenly shook, as if being struck by lightning. Her gaze was dull. For more episode, don't forget to subscribe.